In a world limited on water tenders, there was Rescue Fire Water Tender 83 with 3,000 gallons of water equipped with its own portable tank. These are the Rescue Fire portable tank operations.
Hi. Okay, so the next video in our series is we're going to go over the drop tank or snap tank, depending on who you talk to, on the water tender. So, Water Tender 83 has a 3,000 gallon portable water tank. So if you guys are on a fire and you are instructed, hey, we need you to drop your portable tank, this is what they're talking about, okay? This is not a one-person operation at all. You cannot physically get this off with one person. You can't set it up with one person, so please don't. It's a minimum of 2. It's better if you have 3. 2 people can get it on the ground. Reloading it is a 3-person operation, if at all possible. Snag an engine, snag a bystander, whoever you need, and get them to help you, okay? So, it is held in place by 2 of these. These are both swing out doors. There's a little release latch right here. You're gonna pull up on it. That's gonna swing out. So there's one on the front, one on the back. Firefighter Cassidy's gonna open the other one. The tank is designed to go in flat, and if you look on the initial picture that Engineer McGrady, a videographer, did, you'll see the ropes. The ropes should always be facing out no matter what. If you look at this and the ropes aren't there, you did it wrong, okay? It's important to have the ropes facing out because this is the top of the tank. You don't want to pull the tank out and have to flip it over and try and set it up because that's even more of a pain, okay? The tank itself is held together by 3 straps. There's one at each end, and then there's a ratchet strap in the middle. We'll go over that in more detail about how to actually physically put that on there. So we do that because when you put the tank out, it's like hose, right? It gets air in it type thing. So when you compress it down, this compresses it down tight. It makes it easier to put it away. That's a modification that we did. It's super common if you have to unload somebody else's portable tank. Most of them operate just like this, and they're going to have some sort of strap system on there to keep them in place. The basic premise is it's folded up. You're going to get it out, set it on the ground. You're going to unfold it, okay? Just like a ladder. It's a multifaceted thing that moves in 2 sections. So Jake and I are going to take it off the water tender. So Jake and I are going to slide this out. It's important that you slide it out evenly because if you slide it out unevenly, it gets caught. So the best way to do it is to slide it all the way out to the edge. Good. Okay. Grab it. I usually use my leg and my hip so that I can transition. Then you flip it over, set it straight down. Important things. Choose where you're going to put it wisely. This is concrete, right? It's flat. Doesn't matter where you put it. This tank holds 3,000 gallons of water on a flat surface. If you put it on a surface like this, it's not going to hold all the water and it's not going to be as effective. Try and get it on the flattest ground you can, okay? The other thing, when we open it up, I'll explain about the drains and where to put the drains. But it's super important to pick where you're going to put it so that it's flat. Also, access. The water tender or whoever needs to back up to it and be able to dump water into it. If you put it in the middle of the road, people aren't going to be able to drive by it, or they're not going to be able to back up to it. So keep those things in mind. Your operator is going to do most of those things, but as your right seat guy, think about those things. And when you look at it, go, okay, this is probably the best place to do this. Talk with your operator so you guys can work together, okay? So 3 straps, right? One here, one there. End straps come off first. When you take the end straps off, so that they don't get lost, clip them right back on there. I put green ones on there so that they're highly visible. They're not expensive. If you lose them, it's not a crisis. Just tell somebody we'll put a new one on there, okay? Ratchet strap. Okay. Important thing about the ratchet strap, when you put this away, it's going to be even more important. This is on the top for a reason. It touches the metal. This is just vinyl. If you put this on the vinyl, it can tear the vinyl, okay? We put it on the top. That way it's primarily touching the metal and it's not rubbing on the vinyl, okay? So to release it, anybody that hasn't used a ratchet strap, the tail is tucked in. There is a little divot part. When you push the handle up, you can pull in on that with your finger and loosen it. So like we just talked about on the ratchet strap, this is the little divot I was talking about. So you can pull in on this with your finger, right? It's going to be a little bit tight if you have your gloves on, so just keep that in mind. But it's not enough pressure that it's going to hurt you. Just pull down. That's going to release the pressure. You can pull just like that, okay? Keep this together. You don't have to strap this on the tank. I usually put it either in the brass box so that you know where it is on the other side of the engineer's compartment. Put it in your pocket, put it in the cab, put it somewhere you're not going to lose it and you know where it is. I don't care where it is, just put it somewhere so you don't lose it, okay? For now, I'm just going to put it in the back compartment just so I know where it is. Okay, so we've got all the straps off. We need to open the tank, okay? We're gonna do this two-person because 99% of the time, there's just gonna be two of us, okay? It's super simple. When you get to that point, come to the middle, grab the middle. Don't put your hands here, right? This is a moving piece. You can pinch your fingers. So, either side, okay? Tighten it up. Come closer. So inside, to be able to get the max volume of water, you want to push all this out. So the corners want to be flat. Just like that, okay? This tank has two drains. You can see the one drain there. The one drain is here closer, okay? One of the drains needs to be on the downhill side because eventually you're gonna have to take the water out of this and get it back on the water tender. It is very complicated to take this apart if both of the drains are uphill. So if you get to a point and you go, oh no, one of the drains, neither one of them are that way. It's very easy to spin this. Just grab a corner and spin it. I'm not gonna drag it on this because it's concrete and it'll just rough this up. But if you needed to, Cassidy and I, you just basically pick up a corner and you walk it, okay? Literally just rotate it. It's obviously easier with more than one person. 3 to 4 is better, okay? The ropes are here. It gives you a couple things. It tells you where the middle of the tank is, right? And it gives a little bit of structure. So once that's done and set up, that's when you're gonna dump your water in. This is how you're gonna draft out of it. Trash pump like we talked about on one of the other videos, fire engine, whatever, okay? The drains, make sure the drains are up like this. If they're not up like this, come over here close. These need to be run through here like this. They should be set up that way already. If they're not, what can happen is all the water that you just put in will go all over the ground. The other thing is, when you're putting it away, tuck them in tight, okay? Because what happens is if you leave them loose, they can be loose on the outside. They can get tree branches, other things can get snagged on them, and it'll actually rip the vinyl. So we're done. We went to a fire, we put everything out. Yay for us. Now we have to put this away, okay? So to drain it, there's a couple different ways you can do it. So in this instance, this is pretty flat, but we'll say this is the downhill side. So we're gonna disconnect the drain. Just throw it on the ground. No big deal, okay? As the water drains this way, you want to push the water this way. And you're going to use these handles to do it. These handles right here, these big rubber handles, they're designed to be picked up, okay? So I can grab this one, Jay can grab that one, somebody can grab this one. We physically pick it up and channel the water towards that, okay? Easiest way to get the water out. And then you actually can step inside and work your way towards it. You can pull the handles up in the middle, however you need to do it to get all the water out of it. When we get back, important, if it's dirty, we're gonna wash it off, okay? It doesn't have to be spick and span, right? We know it's a draft tank, it just goes in the dirt. We're gonna hose it off, wash it. Once a season, we'll actually get in here with a little bit of soap, just a little bit, physically scrub it with one of the engine brushes like we wash the engine with, and then we're gonna wash it out. It just gets all the mud and debris out of it. If you get back here and you had a fire where there was rocks or whatever in there, the whole thing needs to be washed out. All that stuff needs to get out. Because if you leave it in there, it's gritty and it will actually rub a hole in the vinyl. And we don't want that. If it rubs a hole in the vinyl, it's not going to hold water, okay? If there is a hole, super easy to fix. We have a patch kit for it. It's literally just like a rubber raft like you'd get at Walmart. It's glue. The patch goes right on there. You just make sure it's clean, it dries, you're good to go, okay? So we're going to pause. We're going to spray this off, make sure that it's clean, and then we'll come back and we'll show you how to put it. Okay, we've washed off exterior real quick, just got all the big mud and grime off of it, and now it's time to put it away, okay? So, you're going to put it away the opposite of how you folded it, out, right? So, these are still your pinch points, so be careful of that, but it folds in the middle, so you're going to walk the middle in. Okay, so I did that on purpose. You don't want that. You want all of that inside. So be cognizant, if you lift it up, that's what it's going to do. I'm going to walk it back out and make sure that I don't do that. Okay, so on this side, we need to do a little bit of work. Is there vinyl showing on that side?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to pull that vinyl up and in so that it's not bulging out. Okay. Okay, so when you do the straps, put the end straps on first. That will pull the whole system together.
Few moments later.
Okay. There we go. Okay. So that's there. Then we're going to grab the ratchet strap. So remember, ropes are going to be facing out. So this is going to be on the top. So there's a couple different ways you can do it. I like to feed it underneath and then slide it down. So the ratchet strap should be in the middle as much as possible, right? So this is your middle point. So Firefighter Cassidy is going to slide that down. Is that twisted? Yeah, there we go. Okay. Then you're going to slide this through. Okay, so I didn't cam it over properly in the beginning. So lay that flat. That was the part that I missed. Okay, and then you're gonna strap it in, and this will tighten up the whole thing for you. Pull it in as tight as you can. Okay, so if this is up here a little bit, it's not the end of the world. It's better if I loosen it and I just make that slide like that, and then I redo it. There we go, just like that. Okay, so this isn't touching the vinyl, and the straps are the only thing touching the rope. So that's not going to damage the rope. That's not going to cut the rope. On the back side, the two hooks, they're fine, right? These are rubberized hooks, so even if they rub against the vinyl, they're not going to cut them, and there's plenty of room, so you don't have to worry about it. So from this angle, we're going to have to pick this up and actually physically rotate it to put it back. So Dakota's going to get in the middle, Cassie will get in each end. So the other thing we can do is that tight? Yes. The strap? Okay. So once you ratchet strap it, check the ends, make sure they're still snug. Hold it this way. Okay. Lifting with your legs, and then we're just going to rotate. So Dakota, you want to be on the other side? Yeah. So the reason why it's nice to have a third person putting it back is it's nice to have the extra lift in the middle. Okay? So you're going to come in like this. Walk the vinyl in. Okay? So, see how the vinyl's in? This is what I was talking about earlier. You want to make sure this is snug and this is snug so that nothing's out. Okay? Once that's done, you're going to lock these. Make sure they're locked, because if they're not, that can slide out, obviously. Once it's locked, you're good to go, and you can go home.